Hey there, Max here, and today we're going to be watching some more Dachamp. And for this one, it is going to be about Miyamoto Musashi, Expose the Baki Universe. Now, I know a little bit about Baki. I've watched an old movie where Baki is like in a tournament against a whole bunch of people, and one of them is a guy who likes to stick his fingers in people's necks and try to mess with their arteries and stuff. It was very interesting at the time. I mean, kind of terrifying and when you were a kid. And also, I know all kinds of crazy things about the actual anime stuff. Something about one guy likes to roll up into a ball and then grabs people, yanks them in, and beats them up from the inside and spits them out. And Baki is an insane series, and they have just muscles upon muscles upon muscle. It is the most ridiculous muscle porn ever. So, if I recall, Miyamoto Musashi is a swordsman. I don't know what a swordsman is doing in a wrestling anime. Or martial arts anime, I should say. Well, isn't he, like, kind of old? Like, what's the world going on here? I mean, is this, like, some sort of a theme where he's, like, suddenly be brought back to dead or something? Anyways, I am very curious to see where this will go. And I also wonder how this is, quote-unquote, exposes the Baki universe. Because it's already quite insane. And everybody is insane in freaking Baki. So let's go ahead and get this started here. If you enjoyed, please do leave a like. If there's anything that you want me to react towards, or you have anything negative to say, put them in the comments for me. I will listen to them. And please do subscribe, follow along more in the future for me, and I will do whatever I can for you here. Let's go ahead and get this on. I'll leave a link to the original in the description. CJ, dude, take it away.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, today, this is gonna be one of them videos where I'ma just keep it a buck with you. What you're about to witness is 30.
Oh dear God, and look at those proportions and things, man. Like the freaking angles on the chin and face. Like, look at this, man.
minutes of
It's like, if JoJo's is supposed to be about, like, his design is based on, like, Greek statues, what the heck is this based off of? I gotta wonder.
pure, unadulterated, nonsensical chaos that is going to make absolutely no sense. And have you wondering, how the hell is even half of this shit possible? And
Most of the time, yes.
my answer to you is, I don't know either. I'm just here to show you the most insane depiction of a real-life historical figure that they put in the anime. So, without
I mean, aside the one where they have all those gods that are bringing in lifelike figures in a giant battle royale against the gods to save humanity. I forget what it's called, but that one is usually pretty darn insane. Like, they freaking got, what's his name? Siwa from Poland, and they had Jack the Ripper, and did they bring Buddha into this? It's like, oh my God, they went all kinds of places with that particular anime.
further ado,
CJ! What you got for us, man?
now, as we know in the world of Baki, there's a lot of absurd shit that happens in this universe that makes absolutely no sense.
You don't say, sir!
I mean, the last time I covered a Baki character, I was talking about a butt booty naked resurrected 7-foot caveman. But I ain't gonna lie, I didn't think it could get crazier than that. I mean, what could possibly top resurrecting a primitive nigga that fought
Oh, yeah, they did do that, didn't they? Jesus, the Hanmas are insane.
dinosaurs for fun? Well, how about resurrecting the greatest swordsman in human history? They somehow figured out a way to resurrect Musashi Miyamoto, the most legendary samurai in history. A nigga who went undefeated in duels with a whopping record of 60-0. And these are not anime numbers, these
And
are
that's just what we know of.
actual real numbers. If you step to this nigga back in the feudal Japan era, there was 100% chance your ass was dying. Bro was not the dude to be fucked with. Now, how they
He was the real Marlowe.
resurrected him is one of the most absurd things I've ever seen. They went to his grave and dissected his spinal tissue so they could make a clone of him. And when
So they went full on Lazarus Project on this. Holy crap. What the heck are they supposed to be saying that he was growing so fast that his finger and toenails were insane? Oh dear God, they just want an excuse to do the toenail and fingernail stuff, didn't they?
the
Jesus.
clone was finally fully grown, they got this crusty ass old lady who could summon spirits of the dead to somehow summon his soul, then smooch the nigga to transfer his soul into the clone's body,
Baki!
bringing him back to life. Now, Does that make a lick of sense?
Absolutely not.
No. But guess what? It's Baki, so who gives a crazy stuff happens in this universe every day. This is normal at this point. Now, when bro woke up and they took him out into the world, he basically had the Captain America waking up out the iceberg moment. But
could you imagine that? Like someone from the, like we've seen plenty of animes like Inuyasha where someone from the modern area goes up into the feudal area and such as that. You don't exactly see the reverse that often. Except for maybe that, what was that one? Dang it, there was a there was like a movie where a caveman was defrosted. Was that Encino Man? Am I thinking Encino Man? That's probably one of the few instances where I've seen that actually happen. And of course, technically Captain America as well. I'm sure there's plenty of examples, but you don't exactly hear too many about those.
10 times more brutal, because Cap was just asleep for 70. Musashi's been dead for 400 years. So this dude thought he was on a whole different planet.
The man is discovering light bulbs for the first time.
This nigga was terrified of riding in a car and was in complete shock when he rode an elevator for the first time. He had no clue what the hell was going on because the world just completely changed for him. But one thing that didn't change was that in this era, niggas still loved to fight. And Musashi
who doesn't like a good fight?
Loved to fight. So with that being said, let's start to go through this gauntlet that this man ran. Because this dude damn near embarrassed the entire cast. So the first...
I mean, to be fair, he's a sword fighter versing a bunch of people who are meant to be like doing hand-to-hand combat. I don't know how this is going to go well for anybody who's not against him with a sword.
This man to get embarrassed by Musashi was Mr. Sabu. And he was known as the best swordsman in modern...
Okay, finally. Okay, we got an actual swordsman involved in this.
Japan. So his first fight was basically the strongest swordsman in history versus the strongest swordsman of today. Sukuna versus Gojo type shit. However, the way
still need to watch JJK.
Musashi did Mr. Sabu was so absurdly ridiculous. It made all the modern day swordsmen look like a bunch of frauds walking around with butter knives. Cause Musashi beat this man without even lifting a finger. What?
Baki!
See, when dude walked up to him, he quite literally felt this nigga cut him down and kill him a total of 7 times in his mind. Dude lost the fight.
Oh, okay. I like this actual thought here. Okay, there was another anime. I don't remember if it was the anime I was talking about before, but there is like an anime where a lot of people like to think of how this person actually got them, and they kind of go over like many ways in their head on how they're gonna beat this person. This kind of gives me that vibe of Frieren, where you had that teacher where people were judging them, and is kind of judging them basically on immediately on their reactions on dealing with her. And even the old guy who actually thought maybe I could take her, just for even half a second before even he got the pass. But anybody who showed any bit of hesitation at possible did not pass. And Frieren, because she hated her guts. That's all I really know about that particular scene. I don't really watch too much Frieren, but I know about that one all here. There's been analysis about that all up and down. This is pretty much that kind of situation here. And this person is finding themselves very lacking just by the mere presence of the man.
Before it even started.
Getting in your own head is definitely the one way you just immediately lose.
He knew he was cooked, so he just dead ass.
Also, I bet Baki didn't want to do an actual sword fight where somebody actually dies.
Gave up. And he straight up admitted that if he actually went through with this fight, he would have basically just thrown his life away for nothing. So after Mr. Sabu gave up, Musashi decided to add more salt to the wound and embarrass this dude to a degree of no recovery. He asked Mr. Sabu if he could see his swords so he could inspect them. So when he gave Musashi his swords and he started to inspect them, he basically told Mr. Sabu, as expected, these swords are utter garbage, my nigga. Nigga. So
what do you expect he was gonna say?
He ends up swinging his swords, and they both
oh dear God.
End up breaking because they could not withstand the sheer force of Musashi's swing. And after he broke his swords, he told him, "These cannot be called swords, young one. How do you expect these toys to kill someone when they can't even survive a simple swing?"
Dang. Okay, that is definitely morale crushing. That's killing a man without even killing him.
And after bro heard that, his whole life basically just flashed in front of his eyes, because this was the moment in his life where he just straight up learned that he wasn't built for this shit. So he picked up the scraps of his broken blades and
apparently the scraps of his broken heart
left, having to take a long walk of shame all the way back home. So after Mr. Sabu got his whole life dream and sword shattered, the next character to get embedded.
You know what? Maybe he really wasn't cut out, because if you hear all that, if you see all that, and you know what? If you can't get back up saying, you know what? I just got dissed by the legend. I want to do this more, then maybe you really aren't cut out for it.
Was none other than the main character.
You need to use that as a challenge. Like, come on, man. You should have known he was going to rock your world in some way. You need to use that to be an inspiration, knowing that this can be reached by some people. You may not be able to actually get it, but you can keep damn trying and reaching for it.
Himself, Baki. And I'm gonna be so real, I haven't
Baki's gotta be screwed.
seen Baki get embarrassed like this since he fought Yujiro for the first time. Like, this nigga got done dirty. So here's how this went down. Baki ends up going over to Tokugawa's house to confront this overwhelming aura he's been feeling uneasy about. And the person with that overwhelming aura was Musashi. So when Baki finally felt this man's aura near him, he threw a Pele kick, but his leg got cut off. Now, I ain't gonna lie.
What?
This was a pretty good psych gotcha nigga ass.
Okay, lots of mental games in this one, isn't there?
Because he actually didn't get his leg cut off. It was all in his head. Musashi literally pulled up for 1 second, and his presence made him get stuck in a genjutsu. And the wildest part about it is that he still felt the pain of his leg getting cut off. So
wow.
When Baki looks up from the ground, he sees Musashi standing over him and staring a hole into his soul. And the difference of what they saw when they stared at each other was just insane. When Baki looked at Musashi, he saw a mushroom cloud from a nuke, just pure destruction. But when Musashi looked at Baki, all he saw was free eats.
Probably.
It was Thanksgiving for this nigga. Nigga looked at him like a plate that you get at a family function that your grandma made. Catfish, yams, collard greens, mac and cheese, cornbread. This nigga was free food. So they ended up going outside to run the ones. And this is where Baki just got completely embarrassed. Baki went in for a kick, but Musashi gripped his ankle and lifted him with one hand like he was playing with a toy. Then he started to grip his ankle so hard.
Okay, I gotta ask. Okay, I don't know that much about Musashi. I just know he is a very powerful swordsman. His record speaks for itself. What are we talking about here as far as physical training? Like, I think this might be going a little too far. I know he's got to be very powerful and very skilled in martial arts in general. But the man's a swordsman. What the heck? Why are we going super strength? Like that kind of stuff is not about power and strength. It is about skill and dexterity and timing and reaction and intimidation and aura and things like that. What are we doing super strength for?
Ankle started to shatter while he was holding him up midair. Then he whips
It's Baki.
him behind his back and says, "Let's find out if he'll break." So he uses Baki's body like he would swing a sword and slams him on the ground, shutting his lights out. This right here might go down as one of the most absurd moments of all time. He grabbed the main character, yes, the main character of the show.
Name's right in the title.
Picked him up like he was a toy and used him as a human sword to see if he could survive his swing. That is generally one of the most mind-boggling, insane things I've seen. So Baki ended up taking a pretty good long nap after this. But when he woke up, he decided that he wanted to run the ones one more time.
Very much Goku energy Baki has.
Now, I don't know why he thought that was a good idea, but hey, if you've taken as many hits to the head as Baki has in his life, the CTE demons in your head just take over at some point, I guess.
Because when you get your butt kicked, as long as you're still living, you're getting better from it.
Baki comes out for round 2 and immediately throws a jab at Musashi to catch him off guard. And Baki actually drops Musashi to a knee for a second, because he
See what you mean? If he didn't go after him, he couldn't even do that, right?
actually had him stunned. But he gets up and just straight up tells Baki, "Yeah, so I saw that jab coming the whole time, and I could have just dodged it, but I decided to eat it." And Baki
And still, you still got a hit on him. Just because he lets you That means he let pride get in his way. Sure, it didn't actually do much, but he let you hit him.
He was just completely flabbergasted at this point. This dude basically just told him to his face that I just saw your fastest attack coming and I decided to let you hit me so you can get a little morale boost. So to end this fight, Musashi decided to take his actual fighting stance. And in this stance, 2 invisible swords showed up out of nowhere.
I call BS, but whatever, it's Baki.
Now, I don't know where the hell they came from, but my guess is that he just conjured them up out of his aura.
Oh, I love that song.
Some shit. So Baki goes in to attack him, but Musashi grabs his punch and stops him before he could even throw it. Then he uses his invisible mind sword to cut Baki down the middle and make his nervous system spaz out. So with one final attempt, Baki tries to hit Musashi one last time, but he blocks it with his foot and uses his punch as a bounce pad to land onto the roof. So Musashi looks at Baki on the verge of passing out and tells him, "Wow, you did impressive, little nigga, but I feel like indulging in more fun. Farewell, and thank you for the free meal." And when Musashi leaves, Baki just passes out and gets knocked out again.
Hey, at least he stood up for a little bit after it, right?
After Musashi slumped the main character twice in the same day, the next character to get utterly embarrassed was everyone's favorite bald nigga with an eye patch, Dopo Orochi. Now, the reason Dopo even knew Musashi was resurrected and back in the first place was because earlier that day, Musashi was on the news for beating up like 4 cops at once.
Oh, dear goodness gracious.
And it was all caught on security cam footage. The first dude tried to get behind him and put him in a rear naked, but this nigga grabbed his nuts and crushed them into smithereens. Look at the way he falls clutching where his testicles once were. This brother just got his manhood taken in 4K for the whole world to see on national.
You know, I would think that a guy like Musashi, I mean, I don't know his personality that much, but if he was really coming from Japan in the old days, he might at least have a little respect for authority figures, or at least like officials, and maybe not do that. But who am I to judge?
Then
It's Baki.
walks up to the next cop. The cop tried to swing, but instantly got his baton snatched, and Musashi stares him straight in the face and slices him down the middle with his baton.
Bonk.
Yes, your eyes do not deceive you. This nigga used a baton as a sword. And look at him on the ground. The nigga's having a seizure. Then the last 2 tried to jump him, but they both got air sliced and dropped as well. Now, this is what Dopo saw on the news. And being the crazy ass nigga he is, he saw that and he wanted to fight him to see if he was the real deal or not. So when they stood off from one another, Tokugawa asked Dopo to introduce himself to Musashi. So Dopo decides to introduce himself by breaking shit and showing off.
Because, of course, that's what everybody does in the martial arts world.
Started punching through cinder blocks, slicing glass bottles with his hands, and then kicking a block of wood cleanly in half. And after this, he just floated in the air and tried to ore farm as much as he possibly could before gravity finally took him. Now, after seeing that, any regular person would be impressed. But Musashi looked at him when he was finished and was like, was that supposed to be martial arts or a dance, my nigga?
I mean, martial arts can be dance.
What did you say, nigga? So when Dopo heard him say it was a dance, this pissed him off to the max, because Musashi just flat out disrespected his craft. So they squared up against each other, and these boys were ready to throw down. So Dopo decides to attack first with a headbutt, but Musashi does one of the most disrespectful things you could ever do to a bald nigga. He palmed his head like a basketball. Like, dog. The thing that gets me the most is that he really started rubbing his chrome dome like he was polishing a bowling ball. So Dopo bags up and Musashi takes his fighting stance, where he has his air swords drawn out again.
I personally prefer anime and shows that if they bring somebody back who's supposed to be amazingly powerful and awesome, I like it when they actually show that the modern era did actually learn from all these people of the past and made things better, and that the other person is actually impressed and then actually uses their techniques and makes themselves better. That's the kind of thing I like to see whenever I see the whole trope of someone brought into the midday kind of thing. But when it's just somebody from the old times who's just using said old time techniques and just crushing everybody immediately as if as though nobody learned anything, that kind of gets me. Just a smidge is like, that's kind of boring.
So he goes into attack and Dopo parries the first sword, but his other sword came down and ended up slicing him. And Dopo is screaming, thinking that he actually got hit. But then Musashi started laughing at him. And when Dopo finally realizes that he actually didn't get hit by a sword, Musashi was just staring at him, fist cocked back and loaded. And he told him, "See, I told you, it's just all a dance, my nigga," and rams his fist into Dopo's face. Now, while he was rocked, Dopo decided to at least save some of his ore. So he stops himself and recovers into a one-handed handstand.
Baki!
Like, I'll give it to bro. Even though he's getting absolutely washed in this fight, Dopo made sure this ass whooping would not result in any type of ore loss. Bro got his bald head rubbed and knew he had to make up some points. So Dopo, being Dopo and letting his CTE take over, decided, you know what? I want you to get a real sword so I can fight you at your full strength.
Oh! Well, you asked for it.
So Tokugawa gives Musashi a sword that can actually withstand the power of his swing. And this ends up leading up to one of the most absurd KOs in anime history. So Musashi kept on talking shit to Dopo, telling him, "Oh, you ain't no god of martial arts and all you doing is dancing and shit." So Dopo got mad and tried to rush him, but Musashi swung his
Why would you jump? That makes you super predictable.
sword into Dopo's face and slammed him into the ground, knocking him out cold. And he didn't even cut him. This nigga
I call BS, but okay. Baki!
somehow held back enough strength while also putting out enough to knock a nigga out cold without the blade even splitting him open. That shit is the most absurd way to knock a nigga out. Like, this isn't even remotely possible. This nigga Dopo should have been looking like Mecha Frieza when he pulled up to Earth.
Like, I get the whole... I get the idea that if you do not slice with the blade, it's not gonna... It theoretically doesn't cut. But if you put enough pressure on it, it is going to cut. And in this case, you're taking said sword, which is built to be perfect for him. If you're putting enough pressure that it's going to knock somebody out, it's gotta have enough pressure to cut. And surely it's got more than just a bruise, but oh my god, whatever.
Split it
Baki!
two right down the middle. And then this nigga wakes up after getting knocked out like, well, damn, looks like he's the real deal. Like, my brother in Christ, you should be talking to God right now. Now, the next cast member to get exposed actually did talk to God, and that was Retsu. Now, Retsu wanted to fight Musashi because he was bored with being a boxer due to dominating every person he fought. Also, he was tired of only being able to use his fist. So when this dude heard about Musashi, he immediately vacated his championship and said, "I'm going to Japan, my nigga."
Wow.
Because he wanted to challenge him to a fight, but not just to a regular fight. Retsu challenged this man to a fight to the death.
Some people are insane, and in Baki, that's a lot of people.
This nigga wanted to have Mortal Kombat with Musashi. Now, I don't know why the hell you want to have a fight to the death with a samurai whose record is 60-0 in fights to the death. But hey,
Some people just got to learn the hard way, I guess.
we all act a little stupid sometimes. Hell, I went to a Chick-fil-A one time when I was baked and asked for a burger. And I'm not kidding. This was a true story. So this fight was basically like a WWE No Holds Bars Extreme Rules match. Everything
Listen, isn't a chicken sandwich just a burger with chicken in it?
was legal. Swords, nunchucks, tables, ladders, chairs, you name it, you could use it.
Oh, I am like the chair! Okay.
Except for guns, because that's just flat out cheating.
Yeah, that's just not even martial arts at
You
that
know what
point.
the crazy thing is? They did this in front of a live crowd. These niggas
Yeah, Baki kind of does this. So,
dead ass got off of their 9 to 5 and said, "Hey, you wanna go see a nigga die?" Oh, hell yeah, bro. Like, is that not insane to y'all? They treating this
now that's just par for the course of Baki there. Death tournaments, like, come on, that just happens.
shit like the Colosseum back in the Roman Empire. But anyways, the gong goes off and combat begins. So Retsu immediately rips off his jacket, and inside of it, it was loaded with at least 100 kunai. kunai in there. So Retsu
Really? Kunai? Honestly, you couldn't just bring anything else more than
just
that?
starts to PK fire the knives at Musashi. But Musashi started to dodge every single knife and even started catching them. Then to really just show how much of a different level he was on compared to Retsu, bro decided to cut the last kunai in half. So when Retsu finally ran out of ammo, he decided that his next best move was to use his shirt as a weapon. So this man starts to swing his shirt around, and it was sending a bunch of sand, dust, and teeth into this man's face. But this is the moment where
Jeez, that is just a literal death stare. Like, not even a sand is getting in his eyes is bothering him. That is some heavy BS. Baki BS. That's not just even BS. That's Baki BS.
I myself realized that this dude was just built different. He let this shit fly in his face without even closing his eyes. He didn't even blink once. He just stood there and took it. Bro had a whole rock fly into his eye and he didn't even flinch. He was stone-faced the entire time. And when Retsu's attack was finally over, all he did after it was just shake everything off like nothing happened. And he called Retsu a child for throwing rocks and pebbles at him. So when Retsu was finally done spamming projectiles,
one of the most annoying characters in Smash.
Retsu decides to throw his shirt at him. And
Frick off! Eat my reflector shield, son of a.
Musashi ends up cutting it in half, but this was a feint by Retsu, because after Musashi cuts the shirt, he gets clocked in the forehead by a 9-section whip and got dropped. So it seems that
He actually scored a hit.
Retsu's plan this whole fight was to not let Musashi get close to him at all. He was going to have to zone him the entire fight, because
the coward's way out.
if he let Musashi get close to him with his sword, he was a dead man. So while Retsu was swinging his whip at mock speeds, Musashi decided to mog Retsu again. He puts down his sword and lets Retsu attack him. So Retsu came in swinging, but Musashi dodged all the hits and grabbed both of the whips to make him stop and bagged back without his weapons. Then Musashi looked at the chains and called them toys that can't kill anyone. Then decided to swing both of them.
See, even he knows nunchucks are worthless.
Like a sword and snapped the chains like they were made out of wood. Now this right here was just straight up demoralizing to Retsu because he trained with that specific weapon since he was a kid. And
wow, and he just shattered it.
Musashi literally picked it up for the first time, called them toys and snapped them in half. Bro just made all of his life work feel meaningless in the matter of seconds. So after Musashi did this, he did one of the cockiest things I've ever seen. He throws his sword at Retsu and says, "Why don't you give it a try? It's simple. All you gotta do is swing."
Dear Lord. And you know what? He's probably doing it because he knows this man's not near anything he knows he could end up being as a swordsman. He might be a very powerful swordsman in this era, but this guy's on a whole nother level and he knows it.
So Retsu, feeling absolutely disrespected by this, decides to just smack Musashi with his sword multiple times. And when he knocked him down again, he told him, "I am a master of martial arts. Don't ever approach me unarmed again." And after Retsu did this to Musashi, this is when Musashi just became an absolute dickhead, because he just started to troll him for the rest of the fight. This nigga deadass threw his sword away, walked up to Retsu and told him, "I've approached you with no weapon, Mr. Martial Artist."
Oh, man.
Ooh, what shall you do? So Retsu throws a punch at him, and Musashi catches it. But Retsu pulled out a Bianca Belair move and used his hair as a whip to smack
Ooh, sneaky.
Musashi in the face. Then he kicked him as hard as he physically could to rattle his brain and drop Musashi to his knees. Now, when it looked like Retsu was coming to finish him off, Musashi grabbed his peg leg. And this is where Retsu fell.
Yes. Okay, I thought I saw a peg leg thing here, but I didn't even think about it for a moment.
The same one Baki fell into. Musashi picked him up, this 200-pound plus nigga, by the leg with one arm, swung his body back all the way, and swung him again like a sword, smashing his face into the ground. Now, the most insane thing about this is that Retsu's body recovered and stood up but he was still out cold. So Musashi had to walk up to him and grab his fist to throw him on the ground to wake him up. And right here is when you can see that Retsu was just out of it. This nigga had no clue where he was at for a second. He was clearly concussed. And Musashi was just standing over him like, get up, little nigga. This doesn't end till one of us are dead. So when Retsu's brain finally started to function again, he gets up and starts to attack him. But now he couldn't even land a hit because Musashi started to block every single one of his strikes. So since
Fun time's over, time to die.
Retsu was basically downloaded at this point, he had to try some new shit and pull something out of his bag. So he decides to take Baki's fighting stance to see if he could mix him up a little bit.
Ooh, unfortunately, he already faced Baki.
But I don't think bro understood that this was not the move because Baki himself got knocked out. Not once, but twice. So the fuck did bro think that this was gonna accomplish? So Musashi leaps at Retsu with a random sword he picked up and rams the blade right into Retsu's face.
Ooh.
Now this is another moment where a character should be dead. Retsu's face should be split in two right now, but this nigga still has the ability to talk right now because he didn't cut him all the way through. So
Jesus.
Musashi tries to finish the strike, but Retsu hits a counter and bicycle kicks Musashi in the
More Baki BS! Oh my god!
face, laying him out on the ground. So it actually looks like Retsu did mad damage to Musashi right here. He looked absolutely stunned and was coughing up blood. So Retsu tries to finish him off with the Bruce Lee into the dragon curb stomp.
Which, considering he has a peg leg, is actually gonna hurt a little bit more, I think.
But all of this was a ruse. Musashi was playing possum the entire time. He caught Retsu mid-air and
How did he get that?
wrapped the cord that was on his clothes around his neck. Then he continued to wrap up Retsu's entire body until he was wrapped up like a present. This was pure humiliation at its finest. And look at Retsu. He is about to start bawling his eyes out because he knows he's cooked. It's over. The whole crowd knew as well too. They was like, please, Musashi, have mercy. Please don't kill that nigga. But it was too late. Musashi picked up his blade, cut the cord loose and said, turn around, nigga. And when Retsu turned around, Musashi's blade came right down the middle. So Retsu tried to counter it like last time, but he ends up getting his peg leg cut off. And when he ended up bagging up, you knew it was over because he had a big ass line going straight down his body. Then like 2 seconds later, the wound opens and Retsu's body just explodes in blood. Now this
He just did the whole Fist of the North Star with a sword on him.
cut actually didn't kill him because it was too shallow. And also apparently Retsu learned some technique that can make him survive a cut of a sword.
Yeah, Baki BS. We all know it now.
I don't know, some straight up bullshit that the narrator's trying to gaslight me into believing in, but I guess it worked. So since Retsu is somehow still alive, he decides to prep one final move. He got down into the same feral stance that Pickle uses. So Retsu leaps at him and throws a punch, and Musashi cuts right into Retsu's fist. But Retsu planned this so Musashi's sword could get stuck in his fist. So Retsu yelled at this man and said, I got you. But Musashi looked at him with the classic, haha, you fool. He flash stepped towards Retsu, picked him up and hit him with an attitude adjustment. Then while he was mid-air, he hit Retsu with a clean strike to the back and cut him clean straight through his body. His organs were slashed clean through and his spine was severed. And after he landed that fatal strike, Musashi turned around and said, you've done well, and leaves. This time, it was really
Well, at least he complimented him.
over. That bullshit ass technique could only bail him out once. Cause once they started showing Retsu's backstory, you knew damn well it was a wrap.
Red flag, red flag.
So bro fell to the ground, holding his stomach and coughing up blood, and thought to himself in his last moments, damn, at least I tried. My only regret in life was not using code CJ for 10% off on gamer subs. If I
ad time.
struck some of that good shit before this fight, then maybe I wouldn't be getting isekai right now. I'll make sure to use code CJ in the next life.
Fatality.
Damn it, my boy! Not gonna lie, I was actually pretty shocked they actually decided to kill off a major side character like
That's what I think. I thought I recognized this guy, and I was like, Wait, what? They actually killed the guy?
And then I became even more shocked to figure out that this nigga got isekai'd into a spin-off manga.
Wait, he actually got isekai'd? Oh, that's hilarious.
So I guess we gotta give Musashi an honorary truck-kun badge or something, cause he technically boomed a nigga so bad, he got sent to another world.
That's hilarious. One isekai character sent another guy isekai leveled. Oh, dear God.
So after Musashi isekai'd Retsu, the next dude to get cooked was this random NPC Kendo champion. Now, after the fight with Retsu, Musashi technically did end up getting arrested for killing him.
And I'm pretty sure he had to let them arrest him.
Even though they couldn't hold him with handcuffs and they had to call the entire SWAT team just so they could bring him in for questioning.
5 stars in the top, I love it.
The police decided not to charge Musashi. They actually wanted to make a deal with him. And the deal was to fight Japan's Kendo champion, who was this
this isn't gonna go well.
random NPC right here. And this fight lasted a whopping 10 seconds. I'm not even kidding. Musashi just casually walked up to dude, raised his kendo stick, and smacked him on top of the head, one-shotting him. Every
You think that was gonna go?
single person in the room just had their jaws dropped because they couldn't believe what they just witnessed. The Kendo champion of Japan got washed in 10 seconds flat. They was all looking at this nigga after he got knocked out like,
Big dog, you supposed to be our #1. And you're playing like a bum. I bet you better start doing your job.
so after the Kendo champion
Well, that was quick.
got one-shotted, the next nigga to get exposed was Mr. Shibukawa. Now, Shibukawa wanted to fight Musashi because he straight up tried to spin back for Retsu. This nigga walked up to Musashi after he knocked out the Kendo champ and said he wanted to shake hands with him. So they shook hands, but this was a trap.
This is that kind of anime shaking hands where it's all, they have an entire war in a single handshake kind of, but yeah.
That Shibukawa laid out. He gripped his hand while using Aikido, and it made Musashi fall to the ground. Then Shibukawa looked at him dead in the face and said, "This is for Retsu, nigga," and smashes his face into the ground.
Dang.
Now, this was obviously a cheap shot, but Shibukawa did not care. Bro looked at Musashi when he got up and basically told him,
Pull up in front of the motherfucking precinct and let's bang out. Right down the block. You know where it's at. You study my whole neighborhood. Or pull up in front of the Kmart and let's bang out and let's do it on camera. I throw my life away and you throw your life away right now. I hate you, nigga. Let's die.
So after Shibukawa
Damn.
was done talking this shit and was ready to throw his
My goodness, this translation is amazing, isn't it?
life away, Musashi just smiled at him and was like, all right, bet. So Musashi speed blitzed bro in 2.5 seconds and cut him down with his air sword. Musashi was so fast, Shibukawa couldn't even react. Bro just had to stand there and take all the pain before he spazzed out. And then when Shibukawa woke up to shake hands with Musashi after the fight, Musashi just decided to mark him one last time. So he gripped his hand as hard as Shibukawa did earlier and mind cut this nigga all over his body after telling him GG's. Now that was everyone that Musashi just straight up exposed.
Jesus.
However, there was one more
Of course, we gotta have Yujiro in this.
character he had an interaction with. And all of y'all should know him.
You think this guy was gonna come up and not face Yujiro? He's like the main antagonist of the entire series, ultimately.
Very well. It was none other than the most disrespectful man in anime history. Yujiro motherfucking Hanma, nigga. Ooh, boy, I tell you. I'm surprised a world cataclysmic event didn't happen when these two fought. Because we all know how overpowered Yujiro is in this universe. And we just witnessed how overpowered Musashi is. So the fact that the top two niggas in this verse decided to square off is generally
Like, there is no way Yujiro would not be tempted by this.
terrifying. I'm surprised they didn't send the government to stop these niggas. But when I really think about it, what the hell are they gonna do? I mean, hell, Yujiro literally made America his bitch. Now, this is how this confrontation went down. Yujiro wanted to fight Musashi because Motobe straight up said, I don't believe that you can beat Musashi.
Well, there you go. That's enough. That's all he needs to know, that he needs to do this.
And I will be the person to protect everyone. So Yujiro took offense to this because even though Yujiro's not a swordsman like Motobe, Yujiro is still known as the strongest creature on Earth. So he went to Tokugawa's
Hey, known as a freaking demon.
house to confront Musashi.
Literally his muscles on his back when he flexes makes a frickin' demon face, and they say anybody who sees that face is gonna die.
Now, the way they got to start fighting was just hilarious. Musashi wanted to see if Yujiro was like that or not. So he tried to air slice him while Yujiro was just drinking some sake. But this nigga did not even react. Yujiro just straight up looked at him like, nigga, did you really think that bullshit was gonna work on me? Fuck wrong with you? Eat a dick, nigga. So this man cuts the bottle cap with his finger, and the glass lands on Musashi's forehead and he starts bleeding.
And this is where the Baki BS hits the nth degree.
Yujiro looked at Tokugawa and told him, hey, bald nigga, fetch that nigga sword now. Fuck the foreplay. We fighting right here, right now. So they wasted little to no time. They went outside and they were ready to throw down. So Yujiro decides to make the first move. He grabs Musashi's sword with his hand and tells him, think fast, Choco Nuts. So he slaps the shit out of this nigga and sends him flying, and this motherfucker is still hanging onto the sword. Like, look at this nonchalant bullshit. He farmed aura mid-attack, and just off of the first hit, he had Musashi looking cross-eyed. So after he got hit with that—
To be fair, he kind of normal his cross-eyed a little bit, ain't he?
face palm of doom, this is when Musashi decided to lock in, because he finally had a worthy challenger. So Musashi decides to go on the attack. So he tries to slice him down the middle, but he ended up cutting his leg. Then he tried to slash him again, but Yujiro hits a nasty dodge. Dude jumps like 10 feet in the air and floated there for 5 seconds. And while all this was going
And if this was a real thing, the moment you jumped up here, you just slash upwards and you're dead.
on, Tokugawa was watching this, and this nigga looked like he was dead ass about to nut. Bro was on the sidelines like, oh, I can't contain myself.
Tokugawa, you are always insane, man.
I'm about to bust. Like, I get it, bro. We're watching legends fight right now. But like, damn, bro, pop it.
Control yourself, please.
Ow. So after Tokugawa was done glazing, Musashi swung at one of Yujiro's vital points. But Yujiro somehow saw this attack coming. So he dodged to make him miss his vitals, then grabbed Musashi by the wrist and gave him a receipt for that officer that got his balls crushed. Yujiro kicks Musashi in the nuts. Look at the pain this man is in. This kick to the balls by Yujiro
Oh my goodness.
was apparently the most pain Musashi's ever felt in his life. He said this felt worse than getting shot by an arrow or slashed by a sword.
To be fair, I'm sure if you've gotten hit by enough of those, that pain kind of dulls out a little bit.
So after Musashi got hit by this, he got up and decided that Yujiro was a worthy opponent to try his secret technique on that nobody's ever seen. So Musashi gives up his swords and decides to fight barehanded. So he starts swinging on Yujiro with his bare hands and starts cutting him. Apparently, this is supposed to be the final form of his air sword attacks. And now this nigga
And of course it's an air sword. I'm sure Yasuo mains are loving this guy.
doesn't even need swords because he is now the sword. So when Musashi ends up going in for another attack,
Look at those freaking muscle flexes on his face!
Motobe just comes out of nowhere and eats every single hit that Musashi would have landed on Yujiro.
Why? Oh, right, we have to save the main villain of the series.
Now, obviously, since Motobe did this ended up pissing Yujiro off because he interrupted his fight. I mean, the dude was so mad, he kicked up Motobe's unconscious body and just straight up bitch slapped him.
Yeah, saw that coming.
It got to the point that Musashi had to stop Yujiro himself because Yujiro was about to kill bro. But after this, we end up learning that Motobe actually took one for the team. Because apparently, if those attacks kept on landing, Yujiro would have died.
I beg your pardon?
Yes, this technique would have actually beaten Yujiro. Not gonna lie, when I first heard it, I couldn't believe it myself. Because apparently the nigga is stronger with his bare hands than his actual swords.
I call more BS, but that's Baki!
Now, I don't know how the hell that makes any sense, but it's Baki, so I'm not asking questions.
Bingo.
I'm just here for the nonsensical chaos. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is quite possibly one of the craziest videos I've ever done.
Oh wait, that's how the fight just completely ended?
And apparently part 2 is coming out later this year, and I'm hearing people say that he's supposed to be going on a rampage.
Oh dear God. Oh dear God! Okay, well, I can't even imagine how insane the manga has gotta be. I mean, I'm not gonna say I've seen a lot of Baki, but I've seen enough of Baki to know how it goes in anime form. When you can allow the details of manga into things, I mean, let's look at this frame here.
So let me know if you want to see that. And hell, I'll probably give a round table verdict at the end of it. So with that being said, hope y'all enjoyed. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And let me let y'all know this right now. The day I'm finishing this up right now, I just saw Mark get literally dug in. So I might give y'all a little mini Invincible video next week.
Ooh, I'm down for that.
But anyways, I'm out.
Describe. All right. Oh my god, that is insane. Okay, well, that's Baki for you. Oh dear god, I can't believe they actually killed off a main side character. I guess with your side, the key thing is side character, and they really put him into another anime or another manga at least. Oh dear god, that is insane. Oh dear god, it's so stupid, but it's Baki, so it works. Whatever, man. Make a swordsman into a grappler, sure thing. All right, whatever. Oh, well, I guess he's technically not a grappler. He's just more of a slicer, and even his hand-to-hand. Oh, my God, that is insane. Well, I thank you very much for watching this. Please do, if you enjoyed, leave a comment. And if there's anything you want to say or leave as a reaction, please leave it in the comments. And please do subscribe to follow along more in the future as I see more insanity like this. Y'all take care now. Bye-bye. And be sure to live life to the max.